Oh nah, I know the planets align, this shit be cosmic, but what's a retrograde to a renegade in the projects? My mindset is to avoid most nonsense and don't comment on issues that I don't vibe
What's up with it? It's your boy Noonie. It's Leo in the third house, and we back with another read.
Yo, what's up with it? It's your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is going to be another pick a card reading. We're going to be asking the question, what fantasies do people have towards you? All right, good general message. Could be 18 plus. I don't know. I won't know until I get in there. But I was just kind of curious about it. I thought this would be a good topic. Didn't really have no reason for it. It just came out of nowhere. So I said, let's act on these impulses when they hit. So here I am. All right, we got 4 piles today as usual, and I always want to thank those who be liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, getting involved. Thanks to those people who trusted me with those personal readings. Thanks for those people who just be commenting, you know what I mean, replying back, when I'm asking questions, we just interact. I love that. I love all that, this whole experience. So I'm here. Let me lift this up a little bit so y'all can see me. Here I go. Anyway, 4 piles here as always. This will be pile 1, 2, 3, 4. There's gonna be a close-up in the description box. It's gonna say more. You just click that, bop, more, and then tap more again. Then you're gonna scroll up and you're gonna see timestamps. There's gonna be a close-up right under that timestamp, and you just tap that, and you can see these stones even closer, if in case you can't really feel drawn to them this way. That's it. Oh, make sure to like this video. Definitely make sure to like this video. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get started. I'm about to show you guys the piles, and then I'm gonna come back with pile 1. Boom, pile 1. So, pile 1. What fantasies do people have around you? I mean, what fantasies do people have towards you? For some, I feel like they want to take you out to maybe live music or like an experience where you're maybe being creative. Maybe, I was going to say paint and sip. All right. Or they want to go on like a shamanic journey. Maybe they want to take you to Egypt. I think somebody fantasizes about going to Egypt with you. All right. So let me give you signs of who you could be. You could be a Pisces, a Sagittarius, a Pisces, a Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. All right. But I got a lot of Sagittarius energy. So people fantasize about growth with you or expanding with you in a way, like joy, experiences. People fantasize more about new experiences with you and being able to focus on the positives, being able to focus on what's going well in your relationship, like taking a break. So they fantasize. This could be somebody who you're not talking to, or you gave up on, or they gave up on you, or someone who felt like the obstacle was too big to overcome, so they let go. They would want to bring new ideas into your perspective. Like that, they fantasize about being able to enlighten you, to give you a new perspective on something, to make you sit down and focus on the big picture of what they're trying to say. I was going to say they kind of fantasize about choking you because it says, I can't breathe. So maybe they focus on choking you, or maybe stopping smoking or drinking. Can't breathe. I would think of like smoking, cigarettes, weed. What is can't breathe? Drowning? I don't know there. That's what I was feeling like. Can't breathe. And that's around respiratory. So maybe they fantasize about smoking with you. That might be it. Maybe y'all smoke together. Because they want to enlighten you. Because it says enlighten here too. And that's what I was picking up from this guru. And we got perspective here in reverse, and bring your ideas to life. So they want to find some type of creative way, some type of optimistic way to show you that they're good luck, all right, that they're faithful, or that they're generous, or that there's prosperity with them. So people fantasize about being able to show you that they're good luck and that you should be optimistic about them, or that you should be, I was going to say responded to them. So maybe you don't respond to people. Like there's a fantasy of you maybe responding, saying something back. So people fantasize about being the leader in your life. So they want to lead you. A lot of people fantasize about leading you. Oh yeah, yeah, and going on trips, because it says right here, going on trips, traveling, like expanding. Like this is Sagittarius, a lot of Sagittarius. So definitely traveling, experiences. Like the first thing I saw was like a nightclub. Like this perspective was looking like a nightclub or like lounge or like, you know what I mean? Like it's like experiences. Like these people want to like have memories with you. All right, people fantasize about having some type of memory with you, some type of abundance, you know what I mean? And they fantasize that they'd be able to share this philosophy with you that would change your mindset and make you sit down. All right, so you must be like a free spirit or moving around a lot, because they want to be able to share a perspective with you that can make you sit down and chill and relax. You know, people feel like they fantasize about you being closer to them, because like they feel like the distance kills them. So maybe you could be at a distance from them, because it's Sagittarius energy. So I would think that maybe you're at a distance to them, or they feel like they don't know you that well, so it's a distance between y'all. So it's that type of feeling, and they want to find a way to be able to convey to you that, hey, I'm a good look, you should be here. You know what I mean? They want to be able to boost your confidence and give you some type of wisdom that makes you see them for who they are in their mind. All right. They fantasize about taking an opportunity with you, of like a new chance of spinning the wheel, or, you know, hoping for abundance, hoping the situation. Like they want to have a conversation with you, but they also want to be aloof. They don't really want to be like there. So they fantasize about, I guess, subtly saying something to you instead of outrightly. No, damn, no. They okay. I get it. So they fantasize about dominating you, all right? Because they got the male and the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So they definitely see you guys in a relationship, but they see themselves as the person who's like in charge of you. Like that's what they really want. They really want to be like in charge of you, all right? Like in charge of maybe your prosperity, or like in charge of like the abundance of the way things grow, or like the way that you grow. Maybe they want to speak life into you. Maybe they fantasize about like giving you because they want to be a great talker. So they fantasize about giving you this great speech and then being able to take charge and be the disciplinary or the authority in your life. Yeah. All right. Like that's what they fantasize. Like they want to be a leader for you. They want to be ready to take you to a higher level of like awareness and transformation. When they want you to be open to all possibilities. Yeah, they could be. Yeah, they could be wanting to get high with you, or like get drunk with you, or like be under the influence. So maybe take shrooms with you, or be like, I don't know. They want to transcend like the practical stuff. So they just want to have like fun. This is Jupiter Pisces energy, which is all about like not really having boundaries, not really being realistic about a situation. So like this is really a fantasy. This is why it makes sense. Like this is really a fantasy. None of this is realistic. You know, Pisces is really a fantasy type of energy. So I'm assuming now that we're going to probably see a lot more of that and a lot more Sagittarius, because those are your two signs that really don't adhere to boundaries like that. So yeah, that's what it's really about. Like these people just kind of like want to, maybe like they want to change your perspective, but the way they want to do it is just by talking and like traveling and going places and showing you like, look how fun, look how great I am, look how much, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to do a lot of talking. They kind of want to be aloof with their feelings and emotions, but they want to be like in charge. So this person isn't really looking for like emotion. I mean, maybe they are looking for emotional connection, but I think they're more about like the time and the period that you guys spend together, all right, and then creating your world. So it's like they just want to like go out and enjoy life and together with you, but they want to be able to lead you in the direction that they would want you to go, if that makes sense. All right. So yeah, here's your advice though. Positive outcome. At this very moment, you are sowing the seeds of your future through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes. Whether through love, fear, or indifference, you are always creating something. So remember to keep your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes positive, and you will create a positive outcome. All right, so let me give you signs one more time. We got Sagittarius, Pisces, Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and then Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. All right, so pile one, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and this Leo in the third house. Boom, pile two. So, pile two, what fantasies do people have towards you? Okay. All right, so right now it's not really coming to me. So, okay, so they kind of want to do the same thing. They would want to have an experience with you, but this, like, they want to have, like, memory. Okay, but, okay, this is different. This is different. All right, so their fantasy is different. Okay, and they think about the memories, too. So this person is, like, a nostalgic type of person. All right, so let me give you signs real quick. You could be, or these people could be, because this could be the people that's around, or this could just be your sign. So you could be a Virgo, you could be a Cancer, could be a Taurus, could be a Sagittarius, could be a Leo. And that's what we got. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't even have to be your sign or anybody's sign. It's just the energy, okay? So, fantasies that people have towards you have to do with their habits or have to do with work and exploring possibilities, chances, distant places. They want to be adventurous as well, all right? But they also want to lighten up. So these people they want some type of information from you. They kind of might be holding on to some type of resentment. So there might be a fantasy about, like, going with the flow, because that's what I've seen is flow and forgiveness, like almost like an unspoken forgiveness. This person would want you to work with them, to carry the burdens with them. They would want you to hold tight to them, so their fantasy would be to make you help them feel stable, or you to help them handle some type of everyday responsibility or some type of burdensome period in their life. Maybe they want you to be dedicated with them, structured, because we got 4 Pentacles and a 10 of Wands, so I know that's dedication and structure in some sort. So that's what they would want you to do. They could want you to be generous as well, because it looks like she's giving this 10 of Wands to someone, like she's taking it as a gift. So they probably would want you to be generous. Like, there's a fantasy around you being generous, being giving, possibly of sharing maybe money or some type of abundance that you have, or some type of security that you have. Maybe like let them move in or something, or like they want to share responsibilities. They would want you to share responsibilities with them. So I guess that's like living together or something like that. Maybe there's a fantasy around living together, but I feel like this may be somebody from your past because of forgiveness here. This could be around limited beliefs. Like they feel like they would just kind of go with the flow and release some type of limiting belief, you know what I mean? And not holding on to some type of grudge from the past. Like they fantasize about being bold and real blunt with you and expressing, kind of like the last part, a philosophy to you. You know what I mean? Like they would want to come in and give you a lot of love. So they fantasize about being open and like you accepting this love. Like, so that when they come into your life, they would want to come into your life and you'd be like over thrilled and so happy and forgive them and let go of some type of belief you've had that they feel was like holding back from being able to have memories. Because this person is very nostalgic, all right? So they would want you to like release that. They want you to be generous. That's what I really feel like. Like they would want you to be generous. Like they would want you to hold on to them in your heart. So they fantasize about you like thinking about them and holding space for them. Think about, yeah. So they fantasize that you still think about them, or that you think about them. So if they're not somebody from the past, then they fantasize about you thinking about them. But you have to know them, because it says nostalgia. So maybe not, because that's just what they fantasize about like having some type of past memories with you, sharing some type of enjoyment, maybe going to the beach, you know what I mean? Maybe going to a city, like traveling, like they want to remember these things with you. That's what they fantasize about. So I don't know if you've already experienced that, but that's what they want. And they want to lighten the mood with you. They want to like enjoy and like have fun and like let their cool down, let their guard down. You know, they fantasize about you putting, okay, that's what the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles could be. Putting your cool down, putting your guard down. You know what I mean? Because like the end of a tough period, end of a strong cycle, I mean a tough cycle. All right, structure and responsibility is what you learned at the end of that. So maybe they fantasize that you'll learn some type of structure and responsibility from dealing with them, because you got 10 of Pentacles. All right, 10 of Pentacles and 2 of Wands. They fantasize about you wanting to commit, or you wanting to create some type of long-term legacy and abundance with them. Yeah, they think about that, because it's like the 12 and the 2, that's a 3, so 3 of 1. So they think about investments with you. They fantasize about like investments, future, like real growth and expansion with you. You know, and maybe, oh man, why is that? So they fantasize about arguing with you, like having like disagreements, like heated disagreements. You know what I mean? Like they fantasize about that, like a lover's quarrel. They fantasize about that. They fantasize about like checking up on you, and yeah, cause I see responsibilities here too from the Virgo. So like working together, like everyday things. So they kind of fantasize about being around you every day. All right, yeah, that's what it is. They fantasize about being around you every day. You know what I mean? And traveling and like having you in their life. Because the 10 of Pentacles is like an everyday thing. It's like a long term, a commitment. We built this over time. So like they think about you in like a long term, you know what I mean, phase, like you being something that they truly desire and that they got you, and that, you know, some of the past disagreements or heartbreaks that you guys had, that you guys were like still work through it and just sweep some of the stuff under the rug and be very forgiving. So they fantasize about you like forgiving them and releasing some type of harsh judgment or some type of like feeling that things had to go a certain way or a certain, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like they feel like you have limited beliefs around maybe family or around love. All right, and they feel like it's a struggle. So their dream, their fantasy is that you would just go with the flow, like you wouldn't fight, like you would trust in the magic of spirit, like anything can happen. Like they want you to be like in a fantasy world almost. You know what I mean? Like, because remember I said that, well, he wasn't in, I don't know, maybe he was in Power 1, but whenever I see Sagittarius, it's sort of like the Pisces energy. It's very much like Pisces energy, because they're both co-ruled by they're both ruled by Jupiter. Well, Pisces by Neptune, but Pisces is also a co-ruler of Jupiter. But anyway, those seem the same similar energies. Pisces and Sagittarius, they're like people who don't see limits. They're limitless. They don't see boundaries. So that's kind of like how this is. Like these people want you, like they probably will cross a boundary. So there's a fear, or not fear, maybe it's a fear, but there's like a fantasy of possibly crossing boundaries, and then of being able to forgive each other, like sweep them under the rug. We don't need to talk about that. Let's not harp on what's happened from the past. You know what I mean? Let's not worry about that. Some, they also fantasize about like working out with you, or getting in shape, or getting into fitness, or something like health. Maybe you cook for them, or you do something with the diet and nutrition. Maybe they fantasize about you getting your weight together, or getting your body together. You know what I mean? Maybe they fantasize about like a hygiene. Maybe like I was thinking like surgery. So maybe they fantasize about you getting like your body done or something like that, or they fantasize about maybe getting their body done and you doing it for them, or something like that. Or maybe they fantasize about being a mother for some, and for some it's like a father, it's like a mother and father. Yeah, they think of like a mother and father figure. Like, so they think of like a family, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is cool. They fantasize about like long term. I was like beating around the bush pretty much, and that's what they probably do that in your life, because all they think about is memories. Like this person is a real nostalgic type of person. They just think about memories. So these people must have Cancer placements, or mostly Cancer placements or Gemini placements. You know what I mean? Usually Cancer, because Cancer is a sign of nostalgia. That's all they do is hold on to the past. So if they don't have Cancer placements, I'd be very surprised. But yeah, because that's what they want. They want to like they fantasize about holding on to you for the long term and building this and looking forward to the future with optimism. You know what I mean? Like whatever we done in the past, let's forgive it. Let's not hold on to resentments. They would want to get over that. That's none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They would just want to take a breath and just work together, follow the flows of life. That's it. That's all they would want to do with you. Travel, be bold, be blunt. You know what I mean? But be loving. You know what I mean? Be jealous, be possessive, but forgiving of each other. You know, so they fantasize like that big family role. You know what I mean? And they fantasize about you expressing yourself to them, because it turns them on even when you're mad. So they want that lover's quarrel, but then we come back together and make each other love each other, or we love each other, not make each other, but maybe they want to make you. But because Hera is here, and Hera is like the jealous wife. She's very nurturing, very loving, but she would have killed, like Zeus used to, because Zeus was married to Hera. So Zeus would go out and cheat on her. And Hera would be so mad that she would find his kids and kill them. You know what I mean? So Zeus used to have to hide his kids or swallow his kids. I think he would swallow his kids so that she couldn't follow him or she couldn't find them. Or maybe he did something like that. Something like that. Like he would hide the kids so she wouldn't kill the kids that were born out of wedlock from Zeus's tryst. So maybe you guys would be like in a cheating or like a third person party type of thing, or like there's like an open relationship dynamic and it would want you guys to like forgive, you know what I mean? So, and maybe not quite even that, because we've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is usually about tradition. So it's probably not even that deep, but maybe they'd be like forgiveness of things that are like a betrayal, because that's what Hera represents, like handling betrayal and jealousy by just kind of sweeping them under the rug and forgiving, you know what I mean? So here's your advice. Prayer. Dear God, help me always to remember that this present life is but a fleeting moment within within eternity. Help me always to remember that this life is but a dream. Help me always to remember that you exist within everyone and everything. Help me always to remember that love is all there is and all else is an illusion. Thank you. So let me give you signs one more time. It could be a Virgo, you could be a Sagittarius, you could be a Taurus, you could be a Cancer, you could be a Leo. All right. So, pile 2, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and that's Leo in the 3rd house. Boom. Pile 3. So, pile 3. What are people's fantasies towards you to devote? Possibly fertility, so possibly a baby. They want to be able to build trust with you. So they fantasize about being able to know the truth. So maybe... All right, one of the two. So people could fantasize about knowing the truth about a heartbreak around you. So you could be a Gemini, you could be a Pisces, you could be a Aries or a Pisces. So what is the fantasy towards you? It's definitely a relationship. Got the 2 of Cups and the Lovers. So sex here, passion. It says, I be thinking about all the freaky things we used to do. Okay, so that's going to be somebody from the past. Oh, we got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We got Gemini. We have Pisces, Aries, and Pisces again. All right. So they do fantasize about initiating something with you. It's a lot of passion here. A lot of passion, a lot of like mutual care and concern. So they would want to express feelings with you. They possibly want to have kids with you. They fantasize about having kids with you and adapting to you and, you know, initiating and getting like very passionate, like really like emerging with you. They fantasize about like really coming close with you, like really like enmeshing themselves with you. All right, and reclaiming their power. So I guess they think of your relationship as like a spiritual or sacred relationship, because Vesta's here. And it's usually about your devoted or your desire to get something. Even sometimes what you're willing to, not compromise, what you're willing to like throw everything up for. So like this is like they desire you. They really desire you. Okay, and they feel like they fantasize about you helping them gain their power or them claiming power over you. All right. And they feel like they would know your true feelings or your true desires. So they fantasize about knowing your true desires, like what you really want. What is it that you really want deep down? That's what they fantasize about. Like what gets you focused? What gets you passionate? Like this person really cares about passion. And they fantasize about making a choice, all right, between like really expressing their feelings. So like this person maybe has fear of like really putting themselves out there and expressing how they feel about stuff. So like they want to tell you a truth, but they kind of like they fantasize about you just like already knowing it, like already having the intuitive nudge of like, oh, you like me, or you care about me, or you want to do something here, or you know what I mean? Like they fantasize about you knowing, naturally just knowing them, like getting them. All right. So this, like I said, this person has probably an issue expressing feelings and emotions. So they just fantasize about you like a relationship with you where you can like intuitively just get each other, so they don't have to really like talk. What is that like? Is that telekinesis or like what is that called? Telepathy? Yeah, telepathy. That's like telepathy. It could be telepathy, but telepathy. Yeah, so it's like that. Like they want to have like this connection where you guys can just like think and just naturally be like, oh no, I was thinking that too. You was thinking that too? I was thinking that too. I was feeling that way. You was feeling that way? I was feeling that way too. Let's be together. You know what I mean? Like that type of feeling. So they fantasize about closing a chapter with you. So for some, all right, so this can go both ways. All right, let's go both ways first. So let's go with this first. So one, they could fantasize about communicating some type of deep truth to you that had surround a heartbreak or a disappointment. All right, like they feel like they want to know your secrets. This person really wants to know your secrets, like really know what's going on. They want to reclaim the power. So this person, for some, they could fantasize about having control over you again. And then for others, they can fantasize about having control of themselves, like, or you helping them gain control of themselves. But I kind of also felt like they fantasize about having control over you. All right, and fertility, possibly having kids, because I keep seeing that. Fertility over here and 2 of coins. Look at them carrying these 2 kids. Like they fantasize about having a relationship, sex, kids. You know what I mean? Like, and really having a deep soul bond, because we have the lovers here. So it's like really around sex and lack of communication and lack of clarity where we're going. So this is like a fantasy. Yes, great. Because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because there is no communication here. Okay, cool. So this is a fantasy. So that's what they would do. They would like to take a risk with you and just kind of like say whatever comes to their mind. It's a fantasy of being able to just say whatever comes to their mind and you guys being able to work through it, all right, and heal. All right, because we got 3 of Swords here. And 3 of Swords is usually about learning a lesson, but it's after a painful time. You know what I mean? So it's disappointments and all, but there's a silver lining to it because you learned from that hurt. You learned from that disappointment. You won't experience that again. So that's what they would want. They would fantasize in this way to where you guys can kind of like say whatever's on your mind without causing too much stress on each other. Like, ow, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like looking at things from a more realistic view. That's how they would fantasize. They fantasize about that. Like, so they fantasize about like being able to have conversations where maybe they just say the wrong things to you, but it's okay. You can forgive them. Like it's like forgiveness. They like a lot of forgiveness. You know what I mean? And a lot of like subtle truths. So like not like openly or directly telling the truth, but like subtly. So like you have to pick it up. Like this. I mean, you know what I mean? And they fantasize for some about reconnecting with you because it says reconnecting. And then for some, they feel like they want to be. I was gonna say spaced out because that's how I felt. I just kind of like spaced out. I almost lost myself for a second. So they fantasize about maybe losing themselves in you or you losing yourself in them, like needing to escape or like they want to be present with you, like to be physically with you maybe, or to like be present, like because Pisces does like struggle with presence. You know what I mean? Aries could because they're very close to Pisces, so they probably could. Being impulsive, already future oriented, looking forward, you know what I mean, and not really paying attention to where they are currently. Air signs do that too because they don't really deal with their feelings. They kind of like let it swirl up. You know what I mean? This person fantasizes about you honoring some type of deep emotions towards them and making a choice, an emotional choice. All right? And want you to close, so they fantasize about you closing a chapter and creating a new one with them. Not one that's witty, fun, and social, and forgiving. They really just want a connection, so they want to commit with you. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it could be long term. The lovers is usually about like sex, intimacy. It doesn't always mean long term, but it is like a partner. You got both the soulmate cups. I mean, it's both the soulmate cards for me, which is the 2 of cups. I got more than two soulmate cards. We got 2 of cups and the lovers. All right, the lovers is the big soulmate. All right, so they see you and they fantasize about you guys coming together in this like spiritual bond, spiritual union. And Vesta being here is usually about a spiritual commitment. So they feel like through spirituality or through some type of spiritual process maybe, or some type of like in their mind, that's how they envision it. They envision it like spiritual, like this is more than just earthly love. This is deep. This is like, you know what I mean? To them, they think this is like deep. You know what I mean? And it's kind of annoying to me. I'm an earth sign, so to me, it's kind of annoying. Like, bring yourself down to reality. I mean, but it is a fantasy, so people are allowed to have fantasies. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'm like, what? Well, that's a big fantasy. Like, wow, what? You know what I mean? But yeah, okay. You know what I mean? They'd want you to be open to the information from them. right? Like maybe their body, their mind. So they want to connect with touch, maybe touch, ground, live, stay. Like they want to ground the situation. That's what they would want to do. So there is a fantasy of wanting to ground it, but not like of having deep conversations, but of being able like to have like open conversation where we don't say, we don't use the best words, but you okay with it? You know I mean love. You know I mean what I mean. That type of shit. So, yep, they fantasize about giving you better than what you've gotten before. So if there's somebody from the past, they fantasizing about showing you that they need to give you more, or that they've been thinking about you, and that they want to give you more than what you've been given so far. So they fantasize about showing you better than you've ever had before. So let's get some advice. All right. Oh. Positive change. Dare to be different. When you are criticized, remember that you will never please everyone. I was about to say anyone. Many brilliant and gifted individuals were not fully appreciated or understood in their own lifetime. Yet, it is often they who have sown the seeds of change. So, let's go over signs again. We got Pisces, Aries, Gemini, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And that's it. All right. So, Pile 3. That was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile 4. So, Pile 4, what fantasies do people have around you? So you could be a Cancer, a Gemini, a Cancer, a Taurus, Cancer again. Oh, god dang. So much Cancer and Taurus energy. So I can tell you that they definitely want like a connection emotionally with you, stability. Yeah, okay. Could be a Aries, could be a Gemini, could be a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. So a lot of Cancer energy, a lot of Cancer, Gemini energy. All right, and those are real close. They're like they're similar energies. You know what I mean? Very similar energies. Both of them have issues expressing emotions. Even though Cancer is like an emotion-based sign, they suck at communicating feelings. All right. So they fantasize about fixing boundaries or drawing new boundaries, drawing new lines. Now, they could fantasize about like disrupting your boundaries or taking down your boundaries or letting down their boundaries. They may fantasize about that and protecting you or being protective. I almost looked at them like maybe they wanted to stab you or something. Like, like they want to cross a line in a sense. Dang, they might want to hurt you. They fantasize about that, but they're getting through that. So they fantasize about like getting rid of you in a way, but not like a bad way. So maybe they fantasize about like coming back, maybe. Yeah, because they want to turn some type of wisdom into like some type of lesson into wisdom, or wisdom into like a lesson. So they fantasize about learning some type of lesson or getting some type of wisdom from you that crosses a boundary. They fantasize about like letting go of some type of old previous pattern or belief that didn't allow. Yeah, because we got the Emperor here too. So they fantasize about being in control and dominating you. Oh, sexually, yes, yep, sexually. Because we got the Lovers here with the Emperor, with the King of Cups. So this could be somebody who's maybe married or somebody who's in a relationship. Because the King of Cups can be somebody who's very loving, but also very could be like a cheater emotionally. Because he's like the Knight of Cups, but he's more mature. So he's like a Knight of Cups, but he's more mature and more emotionally eruptive if he chooses to be. Because this guy is really very good with their feelings and emotions, or this woman is very good with their feelings and emotions. So they would want to use like the feelings and emotions to control you. So they have a fantasy around that, around sex and power being their weapon. So maybe this guy has a big stick, because I'm looking at this woman with a stick, or this woman has good sex, you know what I mean, or she's very freaky, nasty, something like that. Like there's like darkness here. So they want to like show you that. They want to communicate that to you. They want to be able to socialize. So they have a fantasy of like socializing with you, having fun, learning from you, talking to you, getting, maybe having short trips. Maybe you have a different language than them. So they would want to like learn your lingo or something, or learn your language. Like they would want you to teach them something. They want to learn something from you. So they have a fantasy about that. And some type of boundary. Like that's what I keep seeing, is like a boundary that they want to cross. Like there's something that they want to cross here. They have a fantasy. Oh, so this person could hate their body too, and they could feel like their life is a mess. But they would want to work through some type of fear around emotions and getting closer and their personal needs. So they have a fantasy around like getting their needs met, breaking down some type of boundary with you, or crossing some type of boundary or something like that. Like they think about their personal needs, closeness. All right, like that's what they fantasize about, and letting the fear of letting people handle that or letting people in. You know what I mean? They fantasize about you reassuring them, like being like a support to them, or like giving them words of wisdom. Like that's what they really focus on. Like they fantasize about you giving like education or something, or like something that they can feel like is adding value to their life. So they want like value. They want like, you know what's really funny in here? Because I was looking through all these readings. Now I'm on Power 4. Power 4 did not have any Capricorn. Now you could have been asking about a Capricorn, but Capricorn itself is not an energy of fantasy. It's anything but that. So I was not surprised to not see Capricorn in there. That's funny. Capricorn is not in these readings. I did say Capricorn once though, but anyway, I'm sorry. Maybe you have a Capricorn that you're dealing with. Cause I was just thinking about that. Like this whole reading I went through and I didn't see not near Capricorn in here. All right. So anyway, they fantasize about finding some type of stillness with you and opening their heart, grounding. You know what I mean? Like around, because we got not sacral. We have root chakra, which has to do around your needs. And then we have heart chakra, which has to do around your emotions, compassion, sharing, acceptance. You know what I mean? And with personal needs, they would want to share with you, share feelings with you, you know what I mean? Share emotions with you, share security with you. So they would like want to share like a space with you, possibly live with you, be around you, like personal space, personal energy. Like they want intimacy, good communication around feelings. That's what they fantasize about, like being able to communicate feelings, letting their guard down. You know what I mean? Not feeling they need to protect themselves, like getting free of that. I need to protect myself. I need to, you know what I mean? And they would want to have good conversations about feelings and emotions that they never had before, that they haven't had. That's what their fantasy is. It's like, I'm gonna let my guard down and I'm gonna tell her how I feel. You know, I'm gonna let my guard down and I'm gonna get over these insecurities around letting people get close to me. That's what I want to do. That's my big fantasy. Like I want her to know, or I want him to know how I really feel about him. I want him to know, you know, like this disturbs me, or this makes me feel good, or like, you know, like they want to get close to you and really express how they feel, but they have a fear of it. So that's the fantasy. Is like, can I be this vulnerable with you? Like, can I be vulnerable with you? That's a wow. That's a deep fantasy. It says feelings from a long-term friend will start creeping up on them, and they'll want more than a friendship. Yep. So that's their fantasy. So this could be a friend who has a fantasy of being more than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, they want to learn from you, and they want to turn this situation into something that you both can learn from. So they want to cross a boundary. So this person has a fear, has a desire and a fantasy of crossing a boundary. And that's the boundary probably, that you guys are friends. You know what I mean? And like they want to be able to protect you and be able to like help free you of some type of toxic belief or a belief pattern or some type of toxic religious system. So something like that. Like they would want to free you of that. But this person could be like married, or this person could be they fantasize about like not having to like being able to use their feelings and emotions to take advantage of you. So they fantasize that like you guys are like so in love that you kind of lose sense, or you allow them to take control, like a fantasy. This could be somebody who's maybe they fantasize about you like choosing somebody over you. So they fantasize about choosing somebody else over you, or being chosen over you, like or them being chosen over. Like they fantasize about that. So I don't know, kind of like maybe they want revenge in a sense, or like they feel like you want revenge. Like they fantasize about choosing someone over you. Like having a conversation that crosses a boundary. So for some, they fantasize about putting you on guard. So, or protecting themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I thought about like protecting themselves with a knife, or protecting themselves in general, or putting you on guard where you feel like you need to protect yourself. So they kind of like want to do that, but they also want to let go of some type of limiting belief. So they fantasize around like either letting go of your beliefs or letting go of their beliefs. You know what I mean? So like, if it's a boundary, then they want to let go of that and let go of those beliefs. They fantasize about that. Like, I'm just going to do what I want to do for me. So they fantasize about like being strong enough, or being an authority, of taking control, of standing in their power. So they fantasize about like standing in their power and guarding their feelings and their emotions and their beliefs against other people. So if this is a friend, they want to cross a line, and this is somebody who knows you or is like in your community because you got third house, or somebody who's like, who feels like family, then somebody who wants to cross a line and wants to break some type of familiar belief or some type of traditional values, you know, and they could be married or they could be in like a relationship, and they want to break some type of traditional values and bring you in possibly, or be able to take charge and dominate you in a way sexually. So this person, that's it. Like they think like that they fantasize that it would be easier than what they think. That's the fantasy. So they fantasize that it wouldn't even be hard, that you would actually just like lay down and let it happen. So that's the big fantasy. That's the shadow part that I was saying. Like the big fantasy is that you would just lay down and let it happen without fighting. So yeah. All right. But anyway, this is in their unconscious mind too. So these are things that they're dealing with. Here's your advice. Gratitude. Thank you. This is a heartfelt thanks to someone from someone you recently helped in some way. I, your guardian angel, also wish to thank you for the unconditional love you emanate to the earth, humanity, and those around you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are eternally blessed. May peace, grace, and love forever guide you along your sacred path. Dang, I don't know how I stumbled on that last part. Anyway, let me give you signs again. Could be a Cancer, Gemini, Cancer, Taurus, Aries, Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. All right. So, Power 4, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and this Leo in the third house.